Hello guys, welcome to this tutorial on how to run this course basically. I made this course strictly on, not for the theme, but mainly because I wanted to get the mechanics of Sonic working in the Mario game, and honestly I did my best. So let's just jump right into it. So right here you have two paths. You can either go up to the top one, which has the checkpoint, or you can go down the bottom one, which is kind of easier. So basically what you want to do is that you want to avoid jumping into Piranha Plant. So that's where these coins are here to help. And actually, hold on, I'll just do that. So basically what you want to do is you want to actually keep running, and then you jump there, and yeah, just like that. It happened very quick. Actually, I was kind of baffled at how quick I did it, but basically you jump here and then you push back. So like right here, while you're pushing forward and running, you jump and then you push back as you're going up, and then you'll bounce into that, but then you jump again to bounce up here, and that's how you get the like a little up loop or whatever it's called, instead of the down loop that they normally have in Sonic. But because of the way that I had this level designed, it had to be like an up loop of sorts. Now I was gonna make this a lot smaller, this area a lot smaller, but the mechanic wouldn't work as well as it does right there. So anyways, let's start off right here. And then this part is where everything gets really tricky. So I'm just gonna run or slowly show you how this happens. What you basically do is that you run here and you keep running, and all you have to do is hold the B or A button to jump, and then at the same time you push back from where you were pushing forward, like when you get up here, of course. So once you get up here, the spring will push you over here, and you want to keep pushing backwards from when you were going forward down here. And then you land on here, and then you keep running forward. Unfortunately, I couldn't figure out a way how to get those treadmill things, or whatever they're called, to keep going while the P-switch is on, so they're kind of useless here. So basically, if you failed to do this, like say if you got stuck here, you would actually get stuck there. But all you would have to do is just push the jump button, and then you push back, and then you keep going here. You don't slow down at all, but then once you come to here, I force you to basically stop. And the reason why is because these coins up there, they turn into breakable brick blocks, and I don't want that, because when you hit this, it'll essentially give you 10 coins. Well, I got 4 coins before, but like if I showed you again, you'll see that I have 0 coins up there, and then once I hit that, you get exactly 10 coins. And that's supposed to be like those box mechanics from the Sonic, except there's nothing I can do, especially since I want to maintain like the Sonic costume. I mean, like, there is the ground pound. Oops, I'm not supposed to go in this part. There is the ground pound mechanic in New Super Mario Bros., but like, it would be so different. And plus, where would the coins come from? So yeah. Anyways, if you didn't choose the bottom path, you could always go up here. And then you can just keep running. The checkpoint right there. And then this is where the part gets tricky, but I'm just gonna play right through it, just to show you that this mechanic somewhat works. So basically, all this like happened so quick, but I really wanted to get those loop mechanics working without the user, basically you, playing through this level without getting stuck. So essentially what you do on this part is that you obviously keep running like you normally would in a Sonic game, And then once you get to this part, you do the same exact thing that you do down here, and that spring will push you forward here, except this time there is no P-switch. And the reason why is because I initially put the P-switch right here, just so that you run across it and then you drop down here, but unfortunately the P-switch took way too long for this coin to go, or this breakable brick block to go back to a coin, and it already takes like a long ass time on its own, even with this mechanic here working the way it does. So essentially what you want to do is that you don't want to slow down here, and I couldn't necessarily figure out a way to do that, so I had to put this out as far as possible without it interacting with the enemies, and I want the enemies to be placed exactly right there. So, and plus, like, I ran out of blocks and enemy, well, like, I still have a few slots for enemies and blocks, but still, it's very hard to get this level working the way it does, especially the way I want it to work. Okay, so basically you do the same thing. You jump up here, you land up there, you get pushed by the spring, you'll drop down here, whereas normally if you didn't hit the P-switch you wouldn't, because it's a breakable brick block. That's really hard to say. So then you drop down here, and this part was so damn tricky. I actually had a bullet bill launcher that had a spring shoot it out and bounce right here, but it would never be placed where I wanted it to be. And especially since, like, once it activates, there was only one way to get it to not shoot, and that was to block the bullet bill launcher. But even then I still couldn't figure it out to get the timing right, so unfortunately I had to get this part, because like once you go into loop, Sonic in his like regular games, he goes all the way down and then he goes into like a bunch of other loops and whatnot sometimes. So once you drop down here, you basically push backwards instead of, or you keep pushing backwards, because once you go up here you push backwards instead of forwards, like what you were doing there. And then you would basically bounce off of that, and because the stupid P-switch nullifies the treadmills, like, it sucks really. I can't figure out how to make it go any faster, especially since like I couldn't figure out how to do it up here, because I initially thought I could, but it didn't work out as well. So you basically run down here, you push A. In fact, let's get down into it. So once you get stuck in here, obviously the P-switch would be active. Actually, you know what, let's activate it, just so that I can replicate it. Now see, if you mess it up, you can actually go back in. Oh, sorry, the enemy's not supposed to be there. So like, say if you messed up the timing on it, no matter where you hit it, as long as you hit it, it'll still go down. And then once you jump up, you can jump down, and then you push backwards, and then you keep running, and then you bounce off that. But however, like say if you, hold on. If you jump down, if you actually don't jump and you get stuck here, you can fix that no problem. You can just keep going in the loop until that breakable brick block turns into a coin. Okay, so now here comes the kind of tricky part. Because I was trying to get out of this loop without going up too far, I had to figure out a way to like get it working, you know? Because this is a very tricky mechanic, especially since like Sonic's engine is such a different engine than Mario. Well, not entirely, but like the mechanics that they have are different from Mario. So basically you keep pushing backwards at this point, and then you jump up here, and then you push backwards again to bounce off that spring, and then at this part you keep pushing forward no matter what. You just keep pushing forward, and then you jump just a little bit here so that you can get enough momentum out of here, because if you don't do that, then it'll just look like this. So you bounce off of that, it'll look like that, and then you'll like die, or you'll lose your Sonic suit. But don't worry, there's another Sonic suit down here, as I demonstrated earlier. And so now comes the very fun but not so fun tricky part. Honestly, this part was stupid hard for me. Not to make, just to beat, because essentially I was trying to replicate the whole bonus stage part. Granted, I had it off. Like, initially this was going to be at the end of the level, but because it didn't work out as well as I thought it would, I had it in the middle of the level. So basically you need to get, I think, 5 red coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are all very possible to get, but very hard to get, as there's lots of tricky mechanics that play out here. So I'm just going to show you how it works. And you need those red coins, or pink coins, whatever the fuck they're called, to get through that door that you see right here. So basically you get all of them, as I showed you right there. This one's, honestly, there's, the 3 of these are just so hard to get to. But honestly, I think this middle one is the hardest to get to, because like the timing is so precise here. But like, oh, there we go. But like none of this stuff will kill you except for those chain jumps. And this one I think is like the 3rd hardest one, honestly. Mainly because you have to time everything. Oh shit. Oh my god. But see what I mean? It's very difficult. Okay, there we go. And then you need to time this. And then you can just gingerly squeeze yourself through here. And then jump up here. Squeeze yourself through this. I'm actually doing surprisingly well. This took me forever to upload. By the way, I'll put up the ID for this course. Just so that you guys can play it. And boom. There we go. We got the key. It's very simple. Like, this part's very simple. Except for the fact that you freaking bounce everywhere. But that's about it. Honestly, like, the most challenging part of this course is, like, it's so annoying. So, it's kind of fun, in a way. Alright, and now we come to this part, which was kind of tricky to begin with. You come across this plateau of sorts. I kind of actually ran out of enemy space to get through this area, but like honestly, it's just so hard. And so this was the downward loop that I was talking about earlier. I could only figure out what I could do with this level, but this is quite possibly the hardest part of this entire level. And I made it so because I didn't want this level to be too easy. But see what I mean? You get laughter all down here. Every time you fall, there's always going to be laughter. And that's just to show that, like, I really mean what I mean with this part. So basically, you want to keep pushing forward. Actually, I'll just show you. Oh, you need the Sonic suit because once you get up here, you can't get through. And so you're basically screwed. You have to kill yourself or wait for the time to run out. So you need to keep the Sonic suit. So basically, you run at full speed while pushing forward on the thumb pad or whatever. You'll bounce off this, and then you want to push backwards immediately. Because you have to do this, like, very precise. You push backwards there, and then you keep pushing forward at this part. At this part right here. Like, as soon as you push backwards and you hit the spring, you'll want to keep that momentum going from that spring by pushing forward. And then don't push anything else, just keep holding that run button on these springs. And then you'll want to jump here, but don't jump too high or else you'll actually hit this spike up here and then you'll lose the suit. And then, I won't tell you about this part. This part will actually be tricky for you. I'm not going to tell you everything. So, with this part, however, you'll want to time your jump very precisely. Otherwise, you'll hit those spikes up there and then you'll have to restart from the checkpoint, which is right here. So, essentially, you'll want to get through this part with the Sonic suit because like, see, that's how you'll get through that part. And then you'll come to this part, you'll want to keep going forward because I had to figure out a way to get Dr. Eggman battle. Like the first, or not the very first one, but the second one from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Honestly, like, I tried my best to replicate it. I tried so many ways to, like, get this as precise as possible. And so basically what you saw, oh crap. But yeah, like, I tried to get the weird ball thing that's swinging from his vehicle. And, like, I tried to get Bowser Jr., like, in the swinging momentum with that ball. Or the chain chomp anyways, in this situation. And yeah, so... And plus I couldn't really figure out a way to hit it from below, so I just decided that, oh, you can just hit it from above. You could have tried either the very risky way or the very easy way, but it's harder to get back up because you'll bounce down here and drop down here, and then you'll be attacked by the chain chomp. And so basically, if you lose your Sonic suit, you gotta lose it. You can always find these, oh, okay, never mind. You can always find these 3 invisible blocks, and they'll basically give you an extra Sonic suit. And that's just a little helpful tidbit. Oh crap, and I already used up all... Aw, damn it. Okay, I'll just start from here. Because the next part through that door will seem a little bit confusing, and I definitely gotta show you guys how... It's not, like, bad or anything, it's just... It'll be random. It'll be like, whoa, what's this? Oh, oh crap. Are you kidding me? This part is exactly as difficult as it is from... Or it's not difficult, it's just weird. God damn it, man. Okay, yeah. I'm doing really bad right now. I mean, like, I was doing good before. Man, those blocks can really throw me off. There we go. Okay, so basically, once you get through that boss mess, you'll come to here and then, like, don't get confused, this is actually part of the level. That's why the coins and that arrow sign is to point you there. There's nothing else up there, except for maybe secrets, but that's for another time. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And so essentially I tried to replicate the bonus ring or whatever. So like, say if you came down here, you would like run and jump. And then I couldn't really figure out a way to get you to teleport to that bonus level. But yeah, that was basically the end result of that. So yeah, that's my tutorial on how to get this level working correctly. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the level too. Thanks for watching.